Welcome to the Project 3 description. What I want to do in this short video is describe what is expected of you for the third project. I have the third project here along with some notes to go over. Two parts on this project. We're using the Project 2 home, which by now you're probably tired of seeing, but I wanted to stick with something that you had data for already. So we're using this two-story home, a lot of open area as before, nothing's changed there. And what we're going to do though is we're now going to say, well, let's put in these mini split heat pumps instead of a ducting system. And so we don't need these two plenum areas anymore. We're going to be putting in these mini splits so they could become more closet space. We're assuming new construction, so you can assume that the house is not finished, it's only framed. It gives you a lot of opportunity to do things. Load per room is right here, roughly 1,000 square feet on each floor. And you can see the various areas. You can see 998 and 867. It's actually a little bigger than that because of the closets, but it works out just about 1,900 square feet. And we see total heating load of almost 6 tons, 5.5 tons, and 3.5 tons cooling for air conditioning. So not a huge system, very, very typical for a 4-person family home. But the loads are here, so you already have them. You don't have to worry about calculating them. I'm giving them to you. You're good to go. What I would like you to do is use our knowledge of these mini split units and watch the lecture on that, which will be forthcoming after this one. And I'll scroll through here. You'll find that these mini split systems are sized by square feet and then an equivalent BTU, and this will change a little bit from vendor to vendor. So whichever vendor you decide to go with, you may find these numbers a little different from this chart here. This is from a Mitsubishi page, but what you can do is you look at your square footage. So say in our house, we wanted to just put one on each floor, right? So we're going to put one here downstairs and one in the upstairs. Maybe I'll zoom this out just a little bit so you can see a little more of it there. All right, so in theory, you could get away with 2 mini splits. You could do one downstairs, one upstairs. So you need about 1,000 square feet for each. So you go and you look, and in this particular vendor, 1,000 square feet would either be an 18,000 or a 21,000 unit. You would probably go with the 18,000. You wouldn't need the 21. But there's a problem with that, as you're well aware. One unit, where are you going to put it? Are you going to have, cold spots? Yeah, you probably would. So you might say, well, what's the maximum number I could do? Well, it turns out you can do up to 8 units on an outdoor unit. So you have your outdoor unit, and you can have up to 8 mini splits attached to it. So you could conceivably with this one say, well, I'm going to put one, in the bedroom here downstairs, and I'm going to put one in each of these 3. I wouldn't do that because that dining room is pretty small. But let's just say you don't know any better and you do that. So you could have 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 for the utility room because it's going to be shut off and may want its own. And then on the second floor, you're going to have 1 for the living room, 2, 3, 4, and maybe even a 5th one here. So you might conceivably have as many as 10 or 11 in this entire house. That, of course, will get expensive, as you'll see when you do the costing. So I wouldn't recommend 11, and I would not recommend 2, but somewhere in between there I would recommend. And your goal is going to be to determine where to place these units and then run the number of feet calculation. It really isn't too bad. I'm trying to keep it simple here for you because I realize some of us have some very limited resources for using the computer. So my goal is just to get you through, have you do just enough so you did something, and then be able to graduate and move on. But you tell me where you want to place these units, and you know how to place registers. I don't need to tell you that. So wherever you think a good register should be, you know, all the rules that apply. Do you want them by the windows above the door? Yes, those are good choices. You don't have to worry about return. You don't have to worry about ducting. All you need to worry about is 2 1.5-inch pipes, flexible, almost like a garden hose, that are going to run to the main unit outside, and 3 wires. Actually 4 with the ground. So 4 wires that will run either to the outdoor unit, as you'll see in the lecture, or if you want to put 2 machines in tandem. Say you want to do this whole area, because it's open, with 2 machines. You know, maybe you're going to put one here above the door and another one over here. And you're going to do that, and you want those 2 to be at the same temperature all the time. So what you would do is simply run the wires from the first one to the second one, then the second one to the outdoor unit. And what that will do is make what's known as a daisy chain, and will control those 2 with one controller. Or you can have each one on a separate controller, and then you have it, and you would run a set of those 4 wires out to the outdoor unit directly. But we'll go over that in the lecture material. But your job is just to draw a little box with an X wherever you want to put a unit. And if you can't print this out, get a sheet of paper, sketch it with pencil, take a photo of it with your phone, and send it to me. I'm willing to work with you here because, again, I understand you may need some help there because you have limited resources at home. I'm not asking you to buy anything. I don't want you to have to do that. We're going to get through this best we can. So your goal, how many of these units? What are their sizes? Where are they? Either sketch on this, because I sent it to you in a Word document. You can open up and edit it. I have a video for that. Or sketch it by hand, take a picture. You know, it's a rectangle. It isn't that hard to draw. Second floor, same thing. Calculate where you want to put the outdoor units. We'll talk about that in the main lecture for heat pumps. Then calculate the number of feet of pipe that you need. That won't be difficult. Because if you have the unit sitting over here, and you're here, you know the size of the house. It's 32 by 29, so I would run over here, down and out. So, you know, maybe I would go about 7 feet, 15 feet, down 16 feet because I'm on the second floor going to the basement, and then out. So I'd have 16 up and down, 15, that's 31, plus 7, 38, so I need about 40 feet of pipe to do that run, and electrical cord. That's all I'm asking for.